Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Smoking Tire Podcast. Today's episode is brought to you by our favorite dash cam, the Black View, and their new driver monitoring system dash cams that can help you stay safe on the road. Introducing the Black View AI-powered driver monitoring system lineup. The Blackview driver monitoring camera DMC200 is available with a choice of 3 road-facing cameras featuring 4K, full HD recording, or built-in LTE. All the models support cloud connectivity, making them compatible with the Blackview cloud and fleet tracking services. The driver monitoring camera is designed to reliably detect a range of driver behaviors in diverse circumstances. The DMC200 can accurately recognize drowsiness, distraction patterns, and more. In the case of drowsiness, which is the most critical status to track, the camera includes 2 alert levels. In addition to the real-time alerts, including beep sound and blinking colored LEDs, the DMC200 generates notifications and driving reports as long as the camera is connected to Blackview Cloud. But that's not all. While the driver monitoring features are the DMC200's main focus, the wide field of view and image quality of the infrared camera sporting a Sony Starvis sensor make it a great option to record the interior of the vehicle as well. Blackview driver monitoring system dash cams, making sure you get to your destination safely. Go to blackview.com/TST, BLACKVUE.com/TST to learn more about the Blackview DMS dash cam lineup. Use promo code TIRE to get 10% off any Blackview dash cam. Free shipping for orders over $200. Also brought to you today by HelloFresh. I love HelloFresh. You get farm-fresh, pre-portioned ingredients and seasonal recipes delivered right to your doorstep. Skip trips to the grocery store and count on HelloFresh to make home cooking easy, fun, and affordable. That's why it's America's #1 meal kit. I love HelloFresh because they always arrive fresh at my doorstep. They get there from the farm in under a week. They saved me a trip to the farmer's market, saved me a trip to the grocery store. I love farmer's markets, but they always seem to be missing the thing I want when I get there. It can be very frustrating, even though the farmers are very nice and the things are delicious. Not so with HelloFresh. You're never missing items. Plus, the ingredients are pre-portioned, so you're not overbuying or wasting food, but it's easier than ever to get filling meals on the table in a snap with options like family-friendly or quick and easy. When I get the HelloFresh recipes, it usually takes me 30 to 40 minutes from opening the bag to serving food, right? They say, that's actually pretty much exactly what they say. And what I love about HelloFresh, because I love cooking, so it doesn't feel like it's a substitute for cooking. It's a complement to cooking. It makes cooking fun. You know how owning a car is fun, driving it is fun, but the maintaining it part of it sucks? That's kind of like how HelloFresh is, right? It's cooking, the cooking part of it you're doing. You don't have to do the shopping, you don't have to do the searching, you don't have to figure out what am I going to make tonight? I don't know. You can really pick and choose from their website all these dishes. There's all these different kinds. There's vegetarian options. There's the luxurious options. You can change proteins or sides for another with the Hello Custom offerings. It's great, especially if you like to cook. That's why I really like HelloFresh so much. I make a meal from them at least once a week. It's always great. Go to HelloFresh.com/SmokingTire16 and use code SmokingTire16 for up to 16 free meals and 3 free gifts. So you can follow me on that, HelloFresh.com/SmokingTire16. And then use code SmokingTire16, and that gets you 16 free meals and 3 free gifts. HelloFresh is America's #1 meal kit. Yeah, buddy. Are you an at-home mechanic? Does your car need fixing? You got a dent? Maybe you're restoring an old classic? Look into Evercoat Body Shop. It's not an actual body shop. It's products to do body work at home. Simple 3-step process. Prep, fill, sand. Their perfect mix guide makes it easy to get the right ratio of filler and cream hardener. It dries in about 15 minutes and sands up to 50% faster than the competition, so there's less waiting around. Evercoat is the #1 brand used by professionals, and you can find it, Evercoat Body Shop products, at your nearest Advance Auto Parts store. You get a flawless finish, takes the guesswork out of it. It's easy on steel, fiberglass, and other substrates. And again, ask for Evercoat Body Shop products by name at your local Advance Auto Parts store. Last but certainly not least, we're brought to you in part today by 10,000. Their workout gear is excellent. I wore my 10,000 shorts this morning to Pilates class. They make the highest quality, best fitting, and most comfortable training shorts I've ever worn. I've been wearing the 7-inch interval short and the versatile shirt. The interval short, let me tell you about these shorts. I have been for the longest time wearing like mesh basketball shorts to Pilates class. And they're cool, they're comfortable, right? They breathe well and all that. But because they're long, because they're basketball shorts, when I do stuff on my knees, they get kind of caught up in the machine and stuff, right? So these 10,000 7-inch interval shorts, they're long enough where I don't feel like I'm wearing Daisy Dukes, but they're short enough where they just go right above my knee so that when I'm doing this stuff, it's not getting caught up, right? They've got the silver ion for odor protection, no bounce pockets, they're breathable, the lightweight shell fabric is excellent, and there's an optional liner, very comfortable, prevents chafing. The versatile shirt is a great workout shirt. It's lightweight, breathable, durable, survives the dryer, right? Doesn't shrink up on you. It's great. In addition to the interval short, they make gear specific to other types of training, from running to Olympic lifting to boxing. You can find the shorts for the ways that you train. They come to where you are. You don't have to go where they are, right? They believe in being better than yesterday, a stoic dedication to continuous improvement, not overnight success. They have a team of over 200 athletes testing their gear and one fat man who does a podcast to ensure the perfect design, fabric, trims, and fit. They got free shipping, free returns, and a lifetime guarantee. I really like these shorts. They're super comfortable. The size is right for me. XXL, it's how we do it, and they're really good for working out. Like basketball shorts are great for basketball, but these shorts are really good for this type of Pilates that I do, which is called Legree method, Megaformer Pilates. It's really hard. I feel like I'm going to die every single time I do it. I feel like I'm never getting any better at it, but that's just because I'm doing it more right and it's getting harder. But I love gear that doesn't make you look sweaty. Right? It vents that sweat. It doesn't like cling to it in the shirt. And the 10,000 versatile shirt and 7-inch interval short both do that. So here's the deal. 10,000 is offering our listeners 15% off your purchase price. Go to 10,000.cc/smoking. Write it out. Not the number, the spelling. TENTHOUSAND, 10,000.cc/smoking to receive 15% off your purchase. 10,000.cc/smoking, 15% off site-wide. All right, folks. Unfortunately, Clapman is still stuck at home with the vid. He's feeling better, but still testing positivo, so he is not in studio with TommyFyeah and myself today. I am running the board and very stressed out about it, as you might see in the beginning of the show. TommyFyeah is a YouTuber and builder, driver. He specializes in the Nissan Skyline GTR, and I just came back from Willow Springs where I drove the built By Legends GTR. We talk about what really goes into tuning a GTR, what the best setup is, engine options, all kinds of good stuff. Not to mention life as a YouTuber. We do some of that. Inside East goodness, and a whole lot more. TommyFyeah on the Smoking Tire Podcast. Hey, Tommy. I'm sorry you walked into such a stressful situation.
I'm good.
Fucking crazy. Zach with the COVID can't be here to do the show. The show must go on. It's not like we could reschedule with you.
I leave tomorrow.
You're leaving. Where are you going?
So I'm going to Vegas tomorrow. I was supposed to go for something and it got canceled. but I'm still going to Vegas because I got an Airbnb.
Nice.
So they got
Airbnb in Vegas.
Yeah. So it was
Now
kind of
explain that.
So yeah, I want to because it took me a minute. It was brutal.
I've gotten Airbnbs all over the place, but it's never occurred to me to do that in Las Vegas.
So I'm like, I'm with a buddy, and like, you know, we're adults. We want our own room and our own space. So I'm starting to like look. I'm like, well, we get 2 hotel rooms, whatever. In the Vegas hotel rooms, they suck unless you spend big money. You know, like Aria Vidara, those places are awesome.
Yeah. Although if you're going weekday, they're cheaper than you might imagine if you're going weekday. But go.
Well, I'll explain. We got 2 suites, we'll call it. So they look like hotel rooms. They're next to each other, they're adjoining. Somebody bought, I don't know how it worked, but they were, for both of them, was $350 a night, and they're nice.
And they're in like an apartment building or like a
it says
timeshare?
MGM.
Oh,
but I don't know if that's the view. Like that's the beauty of Airbnb, right? They try to hide everything. They don't want you to know where you are. So most of finding it was like having a Google Maps page open and the Airbnb and trying to like queue them up because you can't use addresses. Like,
that is really interesting.
Yeah.
So do you think it's in a hotel?
It looks like a hotel or an apartment building that looks a lot like a hotel. I mean, no, it looks like a hotel room. It's got like a bed, a couch, a like mini bar.
Is there maid service?
Not daily, and it says that in the thing. Okay. But there's no resort fees. There's free parking. You know, there was a lot of benefits to it, and also I don't know enough about Vegas to pick a hotel correctly. If that makes sense. You know, I went to Vegas like 4 times. One time I went to like Paris, and it was horrendous. You know, the hotel room was just not good.
Right.
So I didn't want to do that.
I know what you mean about picking a hotel in Vegas because A, there's always new ones.
Yeah.
And B, ones that should be good sometimes are awful.
Right.
And here's what, you know what's been, I've found that I've gotten like a good room in a reputable hotel, but it's been like a 30-minute walk to the room with like 2 separate elevators.
Well, that's always my fear. They have like these elevators are for these floors and these elevators. I don't know. I don't know enough. Like I need some like king of Vegas to be like, you need this place at this time.
Yeah.
So I just got an Airbnb.
Are you also driving a fucking truck and trailer out there?
No.
Oh, okay, cool.
I'm over that now. So that was back in the day. So my car got out here, kind of a weird scenario. I don't know if you've kept up with what we've done as like a business, but I actually wanted
to hear about it.
I wanted to talk to you about it because you're part of the reason it exists, and no one really knows this.
Well, that's nice.
So this is crazy. So, and I was thinking about it. It really just hit me recently that this is the case. So back in the day when I met you, it was in Vegas.
Yeah.
And we did the challenge.
Yeah.
And I had my GTR. That was my first GTR. It was crashed. It had been hit by a Jeep, remember?
Yeah, it was kind of a rough example.
It was beautiful till that Jeep hit it. And then I was like, well, I'm not going to miss the challenge. I'm going to go out there with a T-bone GTR. And we got like second place.
Yeah, it ran good.
Yeah. So, but you were going to do it one take.
Yeah.
And I had like 60,000 subs at the time. And because Justin Bell lapped it and the car hadn't really been, it had been beaten out on the street, but no one really understands the difference between the track and the street. It's a
big difference.
It's 0 to 100. You know, it's a big of a difference as you can get. Even if you
sustained heat and the sustained, forces on the car are so much more on the track.
So you went to drive it, and there was a problem. And I know now what it was, and at the time I had no idea. The ECU, the computer, has a built-in map sensor. So a vacuum line has to physically run from a vacuum source through the firewall into the car, which is whatever.
Okay.
It kind of sucks. It had melted.
Oh.
And without a map sensor, you have nothing.
Right.
But I was at 60,000 subs. I towed my car all the way out to Vegas. You were huge. Everyone I was with was huge. Luckily, we were able to do the challenge. But what did that cost me?
Yeah.
You not doing the one take, who knows? It could have been nothing. It's my fault. But could have been nothing, could have been huge. So from that point, I was like, I never want this to happen again, and I never want this to happen to anyone else. Because who knows? You got a track day that your cousin lives near Laguna Seca. You're on the East Coast. You're like, yeah, I'd love to come out and do that.
If you think racing is expensive, try getting there and then not racing.
Right. And that's exactly
that's happened to me. Not with my own cars, but I'm like an arrive and drive pay driver.
Sure.
Like I've been on a bunch of different race teams and I pay for my seat in the car for the weekend, and I'll get there and the car will fucking break on lap 2. Yeah. And I spend the weekend watching people try to fix the car.
Around.
And it's racing, you know, shit happens, but it's like, wow, I really just spent a lot of money to stand around a garage for 3 days.
So that's the crazy part, is it's like both sides, right? It was like my career, we'll call it, as well as, you know, whatever, whoever knows. Like that could have been huge. It could have done nothing. I'll never know.
Yeah.
But I was like, okay, I have to simplify these cars. I have to learn them more, you know. And from that moment, I started my journey trying to find a shop that had the same vision as me. And at the end of the day, there just wasn't one. So I started my own.
That's awesome.
So we started.
And how's
our own
that?
shop.
And your shop isn't just like a YouTube shop. It's like a shop with customers, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So we opened for business officially. We had a couple customers which were cool, like Alex Bowman. He's a NASCAR driver. We're doing his car currently. He was our first customer ever. He hit me up on Instagram and he's like, oh, I can't find a shop. And I was like, well,
what's he got? 32?
32.
Okay.
And then, but we opened officially in our new building October of last year. So what is that? 6 months or whatever it is.
I want to see this shop here. Is it up on your?
I don't know.
Is it on your Instagram? Is this your shop?
It probably is.
No.
No, that's Craft Sport. So I'll tell you when I see one.
TommyFyeah on Instagram.
Yes. So that's part of my shop. See the black FD on the left that
right here.
on. So that's my side of the shop.
Do you share it with somebody?
Well, with my shop. So like there's my YouTube.
There's like your YouTube shop and then your actual shop.
So that's my RX-7 that I bought.
Oh, that looks
I left.
The wheels are fucking great. What are those wheels?
Regamasters.
They look awesome.
They're a Russian tank company that retooled after the Cold War. Yeah.
No way.
Yeah.
That kind of rules.
It's pretty rad. So that's my shop. See the white EK, that. So that's the best.
Yeah, it looks great. Good lighting.
So it's the oldest standing Volkswagen
this
dealership.
Civic is beautiful. Is this your Civic?
It was. I sold it.
That's beautiful Civic.
So my shop was the oldest standing Volkswagen dealership in the country.
Really?
I didn't buy it from Volkswagen, but it was, and then Volkswagen kind of pushed them out.
When did it open as a dealership?
1952.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
And it's in Connecticut, right?
It's in Connecticut, New Milford.
New Milford. That's the oldest Mercedes dealer in the country is kind of
really
in that area. It's right off exit 684.
Oh, okay.
It's a little west. It's on the New York side.
You see it on the train station across the street?
I think it's called Carriage House Motors.
They're all on the grass.
It's like literally next to the there's cars in the fucking grass.
Yeah. I know that one.
It's the weirdest. Like it doesn't look like any other Mercedes.
And that's the
dealer.
oldest one.
Yeah, it's the first one in the country. Yeah.
That's like not Yonkers. It's a little.
No, it's a Katona or something.
Yeah.
It's up north.
Yeah.
So okay, you've got your YouTube side, you've got your customer side, and how's it going?
So the YouTube and the way I build cars and my attention to detail and all that stuff is what completely drove the shop.
Yeah.
And
YouTube, as we've learned, is a great marketing for other businesses.
There's no reason to do anything
It's
else.
much better. I mean, unless you're a very, very specific kind of content creator, it's so much better to use YouTube to market something else than it is to use it for its own ends.
Right, ad revs, whatever.
I mean, my friend Larry Casilla, Ammo.
Yeah.
I mean,
he's really close to us.
Yeah, you should use him if you don't. But he's, I mean, just when you've got something right here, something physical to sell, the YouTube videos are excellent marketing for that.
For sure.
Yeah.
So we opened in October, and right now at my shop, there's 39 GTRs.
That's a lot.
A lot of GTRs.
All customer cars waiting for builds?
Yeah,
Holy shit.
So we had to stop taking
That's a lot
them.
of fucking, how much
It
work?
looks like
it's
Japan.
A year's worth of work.
We're pretty quick. The biggest thing that kills us right now is the COVID excuse. Now, when I say there's 39 GTRs for customer work, we don't do anything without an engine out. So those are 39.
Anything without an engine out.
We won't take smaller jobs because we're not like the clutch swap shop. We're not the timing belt shop. We do entire engine bays. And if you look, you can see I don't know how far you have to go back, but that's our specialty. We're not like a restoration. We'll call it restoration, but it's like there's one. See that blue car in the middle of the engine bay?
Yeah.
Click that one. Now it's like midway through being done. So that is a TH1 R32. It's a blue color. It's one of the rarer colors. And we did that engine bay. So it's all
That's fucking cool.
Zinc plating. We do in-house powder coating, in-house dry ice blasting, vapor blasting.
Oh, is that dry ice thing cool?
It is cool.
Is it?
Yeah.
Is there any like negative side effects of doing it? Is there any reason not to do it? It's messy because of what comes off the car?
Yeah, what comes off the car. Like, you look like a coal worker, you know what I mean?
Really?
Like, it's bad.
You got to wear a respirator, I imagine?
You got to wear a whole suit.
Really?
I like when
Freddie Hernandez is like, dude, you got to get on this dry ice thing. You got to do it.
He knows, we have a mutual friend, or whatever. We have a mutual acquaintance, Scott Ailes, who's like the driest god. And I've tried to reach out to Larry, like, come to my shop and use mine, because he's always trying to, I don't know, his angle on it is his angle on it. And, but the guy he uses doesn't have the correct equipment, and I haven't really approached him yet, but I'm gonna and say, come try ours and see, you know. But the biggest
Larry's nothing if not inquisitive. I mean, he wants to learn everything there is to know about fucking everything.
Right.
He's got his Steam game on point.
Steam is awesome too. Yeah. Steam and dry, they're totally different, but used in very similar situations.
Yeah. But people keep telling us here at Westside that we should get into the dry ice thing, and I'm apprehensive to do it yet. I mean, maybe we'll call somebody in.
Sure. Well, okay, so that's the problem. You like that, and that's what Larry's trying to do. Your facility needs to be set up to do it. Yeah, it's about $100,000 in. Oh, it's $300 an hour charging. So a normal car, you're not going to touch a car less than 10 hours. Yeah. But you know, I have a 40 horse Kaiser compressor. Yeah. You know, it's a $38,000 compressor.
Is it worth doing if you're not going to take the fucking car apart first? Like, is it worth doing on cars that are,
you can't see
part of a detail? Is it versus a part of a restoration?
It's a restoration.
Okay.
If you can't see it, you can't hit it.
Okay.
So if people are like, oh, you know, like, for example, my RX-7 that you saw, we took the gas tank down and I had the dry ice blaster ready because I was like, well, while I'm up there, but it was spotless. Yeah. But then, like, some cars, you take the transmission out and, like, there's a leak where the shifter is. It's very common where the shifter is. You dry ice blast that right off, and the leak preserves the aluminum. So, like, the oils that come out, because you know how aluminum will get, like, pitted and oxidized? Yeah. The oil doesn't allow that to happen. Oh, so we'll clean the transmission, and where the oil stain is, it's, like, beautiful.
Oh, that's interesting.
You know, after we dry ice blast it.
So, but it's an interesting and probably a good strategy to go, we're only going to do full builds. Because if you're taking the car all the way apart, then it's not like, well, like you said, you do a clutch or you do a timing belt, and then they get the car back 2 weeks later, something else breaks.
Well,
You're trying to avoid that, right?
Fully. And it's expensive to avoid that. Yeah. But these are 30-year-old cars. Yeah. And like, our motto is, like, they've made it to today, and I think after we're done with them, they'll make it another 30 years or more. We simplify a lot of stuff on the Skyline. It's taken a long time for me personally to learn the system, you know, where things can be improved, and we've got it pretty good. What
are customers asking for?
Everyone's 500 horsepower.
That's kind of the sweet spot, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, that's where you can daily it if you want. It's not gonna, you know, run pump gas. You're not.
Yeah, so that's where it gets sketchy for me, because I'm, like, huge for E85. Like, you drove the Built by Legends car. Yes. And they said 500 horsepower. I heard the car, it's not 500 horsepower. I talked to them, it's not 500 horsepower. But it could be on E85.
I mean, it probably felt like it was high threes at the tires.
300. I could hear 380 horsepower. You know what I mean? Like, that's what I'd say.
Yeah, well, they said it was 500 to the crank. Yep. And I think that's probably true if you put race gas in it. Yeah.
Those 2860s, the turbos they're running, little not optimized for the 2.6. Like, there's a couple
2.8.
Right, that's what I mean. Sorry, 2.8. They're a little better for the 2.8, but it's a great car. Like, I don't want to sound like I'm talking shit about it. It's a great car.
No, that car was awesome.
It's awesome.
That car, so like, I wouldn't personally want anything more than that.
Really.
And more importantly, and what we're talking about is this Built by Legends car. And let me get it up on the gram here, because it is interesting.
One of the most validating things was talking to that Mines engine builder, and he knew my name because he watched some videos.
So Built by Legends is an interesting business that what they are doing is not I'm sorry about the fucking lower thirds in the video. Frankly, I don't know how to get rid of them, but just don't worry about it. They're going to be there the whole episode. Just fucking deal with it.
It's like a collab company.
Right. So this is a company, and what they're doing is working with legendary tuners to deliver restored modernized and optimized cars, full builds, that will look and feel like brand new cars. Not necessarily like Singer, right? Because what Singer does is Singer creates a car that's a greatest hits album of best Porsche features across the generations.
I'd say they're kind of doing that. The biggest difference is
well, the interiors look stock.
They look stock, but they're redone.
Right,
mostly.
no, but a Singer interior is not.
Stock. It's like modern.
Singer's got like 50 grand in leather in their cars.
Right.
It's a different thing.
Extra.
It's you need to park one next to a stock one to see what they changed really. But this is more of like, so you saw the Mines R32 in fucking Best Motoring, fucking waxing fools, right? So you could go to Mines and get an engine now, but you're going to be putting it in a 30-year-old car, and so it's not really going to be the same. They're selling you what you would have gotten if you sent them a brand new off-the-rack Skyline in 1992,
right? But
with modern wheels, modern tires, better brakes, and a built engine.
Yeah.
And I think it's really fucking
awesome.
cool, not just because of their balance of power. And handling and brakes and weight distribution and all this stuff, which was very harmonious. Like, that's what I got out of it.
Right.
Not that it was the fastest thing I've ever driven, because it wasn't. But it was really, nothing outshone each other.
Right.
But it also, I've driven a dozen Skylines. This was the tightest,
super important.
Super important. No rattles, no squeaks. It was like it came off the showroom floor yesterday.
This car was a collab between Garage Yoshida and Mines.
Yeah.
Garage Yoshida is like the most gangster. I'm gonna call it a body shop in Japan, but like body shop in Japan is just different. They're doing more stitch welding. They're real into like the chassis setup. Like down to the
they spot weld the chassis, and they line up. They align every body panel perfectly. It's got this beautiful pearl effect quote. So here's me with the Mines guys.
Yeah. So that's the owner on the right and the engine builder on the left.
These guys, I mean, they were very happy to have me driving the car.
Gangsters.
It was such a pleasure to meet them and talk to them.
Super cool.
And they were like really into what I had to say about the car. They really tell me everything. Like, tell me about the steering feel and the shock tuning, and they were really, really into it. But at first glance, it just looks like a nicely modified GTR. When you get close, it's like, oh shit.
Yeah. It's next level.
Very fucking
I was
cool.
picking it apart yesterday, and the guy on the left there in the last picture.
Yeah.
He's the guy, he came up to me, knew my name, watched the videos.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, I'm embarrassed because I do some dumb shit on my channel and these dudes. And then like Alex Bowman's like, Hendrix Motorsports, we watch your videos on our lunch break. And I'm like, ugh.
That's crazy, right?
Every time I hear that shit, I'm like, I'm an embarrassment because we do some dumb shit. And I talk, you know what I mean? But it's they like it. It's
dude,
funny.
when famous people say that they seen my shit, I'm like,
yeah, exactly.
Or what's worse is when like my parents' friends are like, I'm like, oh my God, really? Like, just talking about doing drugs and like, shit. Like, fuck.
They're like, we really like it. Yeah.
Or someone's like kid. I'm like, fuck.
Yeah, that's always, I had like an 11-year-old kid going to me ask for a picture. I'm like, oh, you shouldn't watch my channel. It's just bad.
But like, to go back to what you're talking about, that's why it's that kind of thing. Like, people, you don't want to kill their dream. Right? Someone who grew up playing Gran Turismo, watching Best Motoring, you want to deliver the experience that they imagined they would be getting. And
that's
if they
exactly
buy
what we
kind of a
try to
janky car, even if it's 800 horsepower, if it's braking all the time or kind of shitty, it's not going to be that experience.
So like that's where the problem is here in the U.S. is like I'll go to car shows and see Skylines with like a big single and like a stock radiator and like, and I'm just like, no.
That car will run good for 8 seconds.
Right.
Yeah.
And it might last forever on the highway or, whatever. But it's like, it's just not good. You know, what's happening is just not good. So as like a YouTuber, we'll say influencer, which is a better word in this scenario, I'm trying in kind of a rough way, because I'm a little rough, to influence people to not do that, And what seems to work the best is just show them, make the good bays, show them, how simple things are. And I don't know.
So everybody wants 500 horsepower, which is understandable. And what's in your opinion, what's the best way to get there with the RB26? Most reliable, least headaches. How do we get there?
Is budget a factor?
Really?
No, that's what I'm asking you. Is budget a factor?
Well, I mean, you've got, I'm sure,
my car is different than whatever. But my car, I have a 32 that's not complete yet. I had my 33 there. My car will be a 2.8 liter from HICAS, a crate motor. I bought it. They're like $40,000.
Is that's what a crate motor costs?
That's MSRP. I'm not gonna,
Is that more efficient than putting a stroker crank in an original engine?
It's about a $6,000, kick upcharge. We'll call it, but
it's a brand new engine.
It's a brand new engine from HICAS. Like some guy in Japan. This dude, if you get in mine's one, he made it himself. It took him a month to make. Whatever. With that being said, like you get a spec sheet. It's a brand new N1 block. It's a brand new head. They start with everything brand new.
Yeah.
It's valve cover to bottom. It's not an oil pan. You don't get the all-wheel drive oil pan. But besides that, there's no accessories, no ITBs, no manifolds. It's just a long block.
Yeah.
2.8 with VCAM. VCAM is the huge, very important part of that. Are you familiar with VCAM at all?
Is it like the spec V cam?
No. So the VCAM is something HICAS made in the 90s for RB26s and 4G63s. And what it is a variable cam on the intake side. It uses Subaru AVCS parts, which is like, we'll say VTEC for people who don't know, but it's not quite VTEC.
HICAS VCAM. Let's see what this is.
So the
Valcon type RB26, huh?
Yeah. So if you go to images, you can see
$4,000.
Yeah, it's at $3,600.
Yeah.
So it's a cam that's variable, which
Did any of the Skylines come with that from the factory?
RB25 Neo GTT R34 GTT came with a VTC.
Interesting.
Similar. So the VCAM comes in steps. Step 1, 2, and Pro. Step 1 is 30 degrees of adjustment. Step 2 is 50. And then Pro is a more aggressive cam profile. So Pro
and this
is
is electronically adjustable, right?
It's oil pressure and electronically.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's all Subaru AVCS parts, which AVCS is Subaru's variable, cam system.
Wow.
So you get a new valve cover, which has the sensors. You can see that gold sensor underneath the oil cap.
Yeah.
All that stuff. Just to make it easy, it moves the RPM. It moves the dyno graph 1,000 RPMs to the left.
Lower. Yeah, well,
it doesn't
that's
affect
good.
top.
I mean, because in the Mines car, which is a twin turbo car, it's a nice car, and has increased displacement over stocks, over better torque. You still don't really get that turbo shove, even with the twins, until the middle fours.
Right. I was gonna say 45 to 48.
Yeah, middle fours. Yeah.
So with if you do a 2.8, which is what they had with a VCAM step 2. And the step 2, you need to cut the pistons for the valve reliefs. I'll set a 2530s, which is what the original Mines R34 ran, but that was a 2.6 back then. You do the 2530s, and on ethanol, you'll make like 630 wheel, and you'll have full boost by like 4,000 RPMs.
That's a lot. It's a lot of fucking lot. That's a lot of power.
It's a lot. But the coolest part about the Skyline chassis that blows every other Japanese car out of the water, in my opinion, is what we say in the shop, it can tuck meat. That car can fit tires that no other 90s car can fit. R33, you could do 295 squared.
And that's so if you've got 630 at the wheels,
need 295 squared.
Yeah, but you can hook. You're not actually wasting that power at that point.
That's the beauty of the Skyline. So that's why everyone loves a Supra because it was here in Fast and Furious. But
bro,
the Skyline,
you know how rare it is that I'm impressed by a Supra. I mean,
everyone builds them. Right?
It's not the engines, which I like.
2J is awesome.
It's an awesome engine. I just don't think they drive that good. I've never driven one that I felt like steered, stopped, handled really properly, whereas a well set up Skyline, I'm like
gnarly.
Shocked.
What about an FD though?
A great FD,
great.
Really well set up FD, and I've driven a couple of them, is a wonderful thing. I don't like rotaries that much, but I drove one. I have a video of one that I did that was like red. I forget the guy's name.
I saw your rotary versus LS one or whatever you did.
Yeah. So the the red one that I did in the rotary, that fucker was dialed.
Yeah.
That thing was great. And I haven't driven like a Rob Dom build, one, which I'd like to at some point, probably batshit.
Yeah.
But they handle very, very, very well.
They're awesome.
Yeah, they're great.
The
but
Supra
the Skylines
on paper,
are the most fun to me.
They're the most fun because they can put the power down in first gear.
Yeah.
It's rare for a car to put 630 horsepower down in first gear.
Yeah. 911 turbos.
Right.
That's
Right.
pretty much, I mean, I just drove the new Turbo S.
Gnarly.
Fucker, dude, out of the box, 9.9 at 139.
With a tune, they're in the 8s on the street.
Yeah. And this fucking thing does 0 to 30 in 0.8.
Jesus Christ. What does it do 0 to 60?
2.1.
2.1. The one Adam had, Adam LZ had, I think it was like 2.8 or something.
Yeah.
The car was insane.
The newest one is like,
That's
it's
so wild.
it's the Turbo S with lightweight kit.
Oh.
And lightweight is like, it only makes a difference if you've got a stopwatch. If you don't have a stopwatch, it doesn't fucking matter. But and you could run 60 of those in a row.
Right.
You just
over
over and over and over and over and over and over and over, and with a warranty. I mean,
and you can go to the track and then go to dinner and then
amazing,
park it.
That car's, I mean, for not that $210,000 isn't a shitload of money. That's a shitload of money.
If you get it as sticker.
Yeah, right. Of course. I was assuming sticker, but but still, I mean, to get something that you can go to the grocery store, the racetrack, the drag strip, the street,
and then go out to dinner with your wife.
and it's just your fucking car. You can daily it. Like
in the snow.
There's nothing
Doesn't
about
matter.
that car that says couldn't daily.
Every now and then I'll catch myself going, I could sell this and this and this and this and get that. You know, like I've got a 7,000 original mile RX-7. That was the one you saw in the picture. That car makes 480 wheel. It's fun. I've got an Evo 4. I've got a couple Skylines. I've got a bunch of stuff, and I'm like, I always think about it, and then I drive the FD or something. I'm like, oh, okay.
Well, look, if you've got more than you can drive, then you should consolidate upwards.
Yeah.
That's a good time to consolidate. If you go, God, I got fucking 8 cars and I really only have time to deal with like 3.
Right.
That's a good time to consolidate
it's the YouTube
upwards.
like problem.
For sure.
You know what I mean?
Fucking
like,
Freddie's got like 30 cars.
Yeah. What am I going to make content with if I sell that?
With whatever you buy.
the Turbo S.
I mean, you can.
Well, that's the weird thing. I don't. You've never experienced this as the style of YouTube channel you have, but being known for this and then touching this is a crazy no-no.
Well, I have because I've tried to do motorcycle videos.
Oh, okay.
I've tried, and it's just fucking Tank City.
Awesome.
I mean, absolute Tank City. I've tried to do other things that I find interesting. I drove fucking Parnelli Jones's 1970 Trans Am race car.
I don't know who that is.
He's like one of the winningest racing drivers of the 70s. Like,
no one cared?
The 1970 Boss 302 Mustang race car.
Right.
Nobody gave a fuck. Nobody gave a fuck.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just
YouTube's different.
you got to lean into that one thing. When I stopped driving random people's shit, dude, people were like,
"What are you doing?"
I came here because you did that one thing, and now you're not doing that thing. It's like, sorry, I hit the wall. I can't do the thing anymore. And if that means you don't like me, like, I'm sorry, but
I have like 2 theories on that. One, it's just like, if I can't do this, I don't really own this channel.
Right.
Right? Like, I don't own this channel. You guys do. If I'm not allowed to do this that I want to. So I'm about to test that, and I'll give everyone here an exclusive. I became partners with another shop.
okay.
It's a crazy story, but basically the gist of it is they specialize in RS3 DAZA swaps in Golf Rs.
Oh.
So I own a Golf R with a DAZA swap. No one knows
cool.
it. The videos are about to drop this week.
I've worked with, oh, Jesus. Why am I
IROS.
blanking? IROS is great. No, the guy's in fucking Canada. Oh, fuck me.
I don't follow.
Marcel is going to fucking kill me for forgetting the name of his shop right now. Why am I blanking? Wait, Matt. Sorry. I'm gonna fucking get
I wanna see it.
reamed. These guys would do twin turbo VR6s.
Oh, okay.
HPA. I'm so sorry, Marcel. I fucking love you guys. You're great. I just have
Those
too
letter
many things in my
shops are
mind.
tough.
Yeah, HPA in Canada. And so they do the RS3 motors, but they also do these twin turbo VR6s in a fucking
VR6
Golf.
is gnarly.
I drove one that was like, it was a GTR. Like, it was basically
Yeah.
a fucking Nissan GT-R. Runs 9s. Like,
Wow.
I have this video, 750 horsepower Golf R, which has the twin turbo VR6 with the RS3 dual clutch and the TTRS dual clutch, TTRS transfer case.
Yep.
And this motherfucker, other than a set of like BBS wheels, would run 9s. Like it was totally stock.
The car I built, and I can show you pictures.
So what shop did you partner with?
It's called Innovative Motorsports. It's 40 minutes from me.
Oh,
it's
cool.
a crazy story. So you know Colette
Davis.
Yeah, so she has a TTRS, and I'm down in Florida hanging out, and I'm like, I want to go get food with a buddy, and she's like, oh, you could take the TTRS. So I just started filming, and in the video, I'm like, this is awesome. I had no expectations. Have you ever got in a car, no expectations?
Oh, yeah.
It was awesome.
TTRS is a perfect car to have no expectations and have your fucking mind blown.
Right.
Because them things are fast as fuck.
Dude,
they sound awesome.
She throws me the keys, and I take it out, and it's like tuned with like 0034 or something, and I call her. I'm like, Colette, this thing's crazy. She's like, launch it. I'm like, how do I launch it? So she tells me how to launch it, and then I spent the whole day launching the car at every light. And in the video, it's like real. It's like a one take like you used to do. I just say like, I hate this car. I hate the look of this car. But if this came in like a Golf R or something, I'd own it. And then the video ended, and I moved on with my life.
Yeah.
2 weeks later, I get like a DM, and it's like, hey, we do that. Like hit me, and so I hit the guy up, and we started talking, and I was like, okay, I'll buy a Golf R tomorrow.
Yeah.
Like I want to see this. Takes 2 weeks to do. 2 weeks to do. They bought a crashed RS3 Golf R. 2 days the engine was in, and then it's like mostly wiring. And the fabrication isn't necessary. The wiring's big. Fabrication is just like, you're going to need to put a front mount on, so we might as well make a good one. You need a downpipe, so we might as well make a good one. Like you could use all factory stuff, but it limits you so much.
Yeah.
So the swap's done. Car makes 500 horsepower, runs about a 10.6 quarter mile.
I bet it fucking rips.
Gnarly. And
it
has a 7-speed.
And it's dual clutch, right?
Dual clutch.
Will they do a manual also if you want?
He doesn't know. He's working on it because the Golf R, you would have to mate the 5-cylinder of the Golf R transmission. I don't really know the ins and outs of that part of it yet. But basically, with the RS3 or TTRs, complete drivetrain.
Yeah.
It's engine, trans, drive shaft, rear end.
It's everything.
Brakes. Seats, front and rear RS3 seats in my Golf R. Steering wheel, shifter. Like, it looks so cool.
You get the adaptive suspension?
The Golf R did already.
Has that. Yeah,
I bought KW Club Sports for it. That's going in. But it's wild. And when I show you pictures of this thing, it looks like it belongs. I mean, of
course it does.
Here's
a photo. We have a photo.
Yeah, there it is.
Here on their website. And stage 1 OEM plus 500 horsepower, motor, gearbox, diff, downpipe, intercooler. Stage 2, you get a hybrid turbo. Stronger internals, forged everything.
They don't like a lot of torque, so you like to go to stage 2, you need to do a build.
Yeah. Stage 3, kill mode, 1,000 horsepower. I drove an RS3 that was tuned to about 900 at the tires.
How was it?
Batshit.
Yeah.
No
lag, nothing.
No. I mean, and it drove pretty normal when you wanted to drive normal.
That's what Alex says. The owner, he's like, you could throw the keys to your wife, she'd never even know.
And I drove it twice. The guy, the dude who did it was the sweetest guy. It was a home. It was his fucking COVID project. Was doing this, and he had this crazy loud exhaust on it, and it sounded like garbage.
Yeah.
And I was like, look. If putting a muffler on this thing costs you 50 horsepower,
do it.
You'll never fucking feel it, but just do it. You have an Audi. You don't have a 240 SX.
Right.
You're killing the luxury aspect of it. And he did it, and he lost like no power, and it was the sleepiest. If he took the fucking sticker off the car, it'd be the sleepiest sleeper ever. It was amazing.
So mine's OEM plus one. I wanted to really market. I have the stock Audi wheels. We use the stock muffler with the baffles, with the valves. So it's custom for like 6 feet or whatever, but stock RS3 muffler, cut the tips, made sure they look good. And that's a dead giveaway. If you roll up on a Golf R with like the black oval tips, you know what I mean? It's got the 5
slick. The oval tips? That's slick. I like that.
It's so cool. The car's so cool.
That's awesome.
So I drove it for the first time last Friday before I left.
So at a retail price, what is that? What would it cost you get a Golf R?
So if you get a Golf R, that's the kicker, right? What's that worth? I found one with a blown motor for 15, but if you get a Golf R from a dealership, you're paying between 25 and 30.
Yeah.
Crashed RS3 is between 25 and 30. The labor's $15,000. So on paper, 75 grand. But from the crashed RS3, the shop parts out the rest, and you get about 15 grand back.
Oh,
so we're working on getting cars in where
is there a way to streamline this process? Yeah, I don't want to source a crashed RS.
We do it.
Okay,
we do it. He does it, but we're looking at buying them in bulk, in more bulk, and that After
Can you buy a crashed TTRS, or it has to be an RS3?
TTRS or RS3.
Or
TTRS, the drive shaft's a different, so you need to buy a drive shaft with only $1,000.
Okay.
TTRS has cooler seats, has a cooler steering wheel.
Yeah.
But I wanted to go for like the subtle, like throw my family in it kind of look, with my Golf.
Well, you could. So the first gen TTRS. Had a manual with the 5-cylinder. So there is some kind of way to do it.
I think it's a different 5-cylinder. It's not as good. The new one is direct injection with port injection, which is what makes it so gangster. Because like all your F80s and stuff, they're all direct injection. They hit a limit.
Yeah.
I had an F80 M3 before the Golf R, and I could tell you to your cameras, I like the Golf R with the DAZA swap more than my F80.
I'm not surprised.
I love the F80.
F80s are great in stock trim, but I never liked any of the modified ones.
Dude,
I
as soon as you tune it, you lose traction to 80 miles an hour.
Yeah.
I put 305 Sport Cup 2s.
I didn't.
My traction control light would blink.
I didn't like that about the M3. It didn't do it for me.
No. And now now that I have all these JDM cars, I need automatic.
Yeah.
I wanted the I'm sick.
Well, you should. If you ever find yourself in Vancouver, those HPA guys, because I drove. They did an EOS. The retractable hardtop, like the girliest car ever, with a twin turbo VR6 RS3 dual clutch. It looks stock.
That's so cool.
Totally stock. And this fucking thing was running like low 10s. It was so sick.
We did a all track, which is like the Volkswagen wagon, and now our next move, I'm gonna get some money together, and we're gonna try to do a Q3, so we can have like an SUV, some dad mobile. You know what I mean? That makes 500 horsepower. And make like an RS Q3 in the US, because I think they had them in overseas.
Oh yeah,
I'm pretty sure they
Q3?
did. Yeah,
I don't even know. Hang on.
and I think it had the 5-cylinder.
Really?
Yep. But we never got it.
Oh, there is an RS Q3. How about that?
So you can get all the parts. So the only hard part would be to get the drive shaft, but we can just buy one from overseas.
2021 RS Q3 Sportback. Yes, it does exist.
Yep.
In Europe, in UK. Actually, it looks pretty good too, doesn't it?
They look a little gnarly.
400 PS 5-cylinder engine. Yep, there it is. So you could do that here.
So we never got that.
I wonder if you can get the body panels, if you can get the front end and shit.
It's the same. It's just like the bumpers, like you said, like a little more. You could definitely get them, just like BMW, right? You can get like the Euro tail lights and shit like that.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. So we're gonna try to do that.
That'll be fun.
Yeah, I think that'd be cool. Like
it will.
Dad mobile, and
I love a sleeper, dude.
That's the thing. I think like more people were hyped on the all track than the Golf R's. And like I'm not that guy. I'm not like, I like the RS6 Avant, but I'm not like, oh, I want a sleeper Jetta wagon thing. I'm just not. I can't get into it. But I love the RS6 Avant. It's one of my favorite cars ever.
Yeah, they're cool. They're lovely
cool.
cars. We had one of those here for a minute.
Yeah. They're big. It's like an SUV.
They're big and they're really heavy, but they are very capable. But some of the EVs that I've driven, like I'm not like gung ho EV. I like a little of everything, but it's become very hard for some of the luxury sedans and luxury wagons with the EVs, because they're just effortlessly faster. And less complex, less. There's a lot with RS6. There's so much going on. The 48-volt mild hybrid and this and that, and there's like touchscreen stuff. But like, for like less money, like I drove like the Rivian.
What's that?
That's the electric pickup truck that's 835 horsepower.
Oh, I think I saw that.
And it's pretty much just as fast up to about the quarter mile, a little bit. The Audi will walk away.
There's something about like an RS6 Avant doing like 160 down the highway,
for sure.
Just cruising,
for sure. And they're awesome. I'm not trying to take anything away, but I drove I think it was the Lucid, like a really fast EV right after the RS7, which is kind of the same thing, and I was like, man, like. These super luxury, super fast EVs make even the most refined super saloons feel unrefined. It's kind of a tough situation.
I've only been in one EV ever in my life, and it was a Porsche Taycan Turbo.
Fast as fuck, right?
Pretty gnarly.
Yeah, fast as fuck.
Pretty gnarly.
Yeah, the
Weird
Taycan
feeling.
Turbo is fast enough that it makes me feel ill if I do pulls.
Yeah, it fucks with my brain a little because it gets really like linear, like maybe not linear. It starts dropping off. It feels like
right.
The Speedo doesn't look like it, but after that initial launch, you're like, it's like your elevator.
Yeah,
you're like, are we moving? You know, but the Speedo is just like.
Well, that's why they can be very dangerous to drive those fast on track or in the canyons, because if you're not paying attention,
you have no idea.
It's not like, well, okay, third gear, red line.
You're here,
You know, you don't have any other sensations to,
that's the weird
work
part.
with. Yeah.
You know, you don't hear the 6,000 RPM like chilling.
Yeah.
You know,
and that's why they don't make great enthusiast cars. But where I live here, and I'm spending 2/3 of my life sitting in traffic, they're great for that.
Right. And the gas prices out here are absurd.
I know. It sucks. What are you gonna do?
I have a dually, so we have like when we got the shop, we're like, we need a truck and trailer because all these customers are from all over the country, and we're losing money, and on top of it, cars could potentially be damaged. Like, we need someone we can trust that we can throw out there. Truck from Connecticut to California and back, $4,000 in fuel.
No way.
With a 48-foot enclosed.
That's so much.
It's crazy. So much. A word on the street, which I haven't like confirmed right now, enclosed like high end, it's $4 a mile.
So I can ship. So we here at Westside, we ship cars all the time.
Makes sense.
So I just shipped a car from here in Los Angeles to New York.
Perfect.
White glove enclosed from with a very reputable company, and the customer paid $33.50.
Wow.
So pretty good actually, and that was on a rig with six cars or whatever on it. It was
okay. Here's the kicker:
full size semi, but enclosed.
All of my customers are like, and I have 6 bins worth of parts to come. With. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's
so we were like,
too.
we can't throw them all in the car; it'll damage interior. So that was the other side. Is like, if someone has a car in parts or something, we're like, we'll come get it.
Yeah.
But I always tell them, like, see if you can find it cheaper, because it's a hassle.
Yeah, shipping sucks.
It's
not only does shipping sucks from a money perspective, shipping sucks from just dealing with the trucks.
Right.
They'll call you and they're like, I'll be there in the next 3 days sometime, and you're like, well, can you be a little more specific?
Dude, they're a nightmare.
And then you won't hear from them, and then they'll call you.
They're in your driveway.
11 p.m. and like, I'm here, and I'm like, what the fuck, man? So like, that's why we
time.
At Westside do this, is because we know that, and at least we're open 7 days a week here, and so the customer can just leave their car with us and know that they don't have to sit around and waste their time.
What you just described happens every single not just like, oh, maybe that'll happen. It's like every time. Like, we'll be there Thursday, and Monday they're like, I'm here, and you're like, what?
Bro.
Or Thursday comes and goes, and you're like, where are you? And like, oh, I didn't even leave. We had a truck problem, and we're stuck in wherever.
Dude, at my new shop that I was telling you about that we're building in Gardena, I bought 40 double stacker lifts. 40. Okay,
it's hard to get lifts right now.
It's a lot of steel. I bought them. I knew that this might be happening, so I bought them last August. As soon as I bought the building, I bought the lifts.
Makes sense.
So this is 2 semi trucks worth of steel. These fucking things. And okay, I paid for them. All right, we need to ship them by this day. Okay, no problem. And oh, by the way, you, meaning me, are going to have to be there with a crew and forklifts to unload this shit. We're not going to unload it from the trucks.
Wow.
We're going to pull the trucks up, and then it's yours. Like, okay. Sure. They said, we'll call you on Monday so you can make the arrangements. Monday morning, they call me. We're here. I go, you're here? I go, I don't have a forklift. I don't have a crew. I don't have anything. And they're like, well, we said. I was like, no, you said you'd call me on Monday, not you'd show
They think that's
up.
okay. It's so weird.
So the guys had to like sleep in their trucks in my driveway.
I get that all the time.
Until the next day when I could get a crew and a forklift.
Sometimes I just want to, like, for the principal, just be like, we're not ready. You're going to have to wait. But it's whatever.
It's crazy.
Shipping cars sucks.
It does. I don't know. I mean, I'm sure there are reasons that it's so difficult and that I just don't understand them. Maybe I should have someone on the podcast,
people,
but it's just like a lot of moving parts, a lot of unpredictability.
Yeah.
traffic, whatever the fuck.
Breakdowns.
Who knows? But it seems it's like you really want to have someone like us where you, the customer, can leave the car and not have to physically wait for the truck.
And that's kind of like our angle. Like instead of doing that, we just bought the truck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just my new shop, I'm going to buy a truck and trailer also. I don't have anywhere to keep it here, as you can see. So other than the 500 horsepower engine that everybody wants, is there kind of a standard like chassis solution that you guys go with?
So the beauty of the YouTube was like when we first started, like my YouTube's TommyFyeah. And people are like, what is that? My last name's Farrell. It was a Twitter name. I just like did it, whatever. I love it, but it's what it was. When I started YouTubing and started like doing specific things, my viewers started calling it Fyeah spec. Oh. You know what I mean? I'm like, oh, that's Fyeah spec, that's Fyeah spec. It's become like a thing. Okay. Like people ask at shows or whatever, it's just Fyeah spec. I'll get like DM like tons.
Oh, interesting.
It's really rad. I got my own spec.
Yeah,
I didn't
that accidentally happened. Yeah.
But it's like, so I'll just tell you that if you called me, I'd say to get like the basic engine bay, it's $15,000 it starts. Okay. So what that includes is like refinishing a lot of things and then a lot of maintenance. Okay. Okay. So, because that's the biggest thing. Like to do a timing belt in the car, probably not that bad. To do an oil pump in the car, pretty annoying. To do a clutch and an oil pump on opposite sides of the engine, you might as well take the engine out. So
where's your fucking shop website?
We don't
no shop website?
Don't even need it.
Really?
It's bad.
That's fucking.
I get emailed. We're gonna get there. We're working on it, but like
eventually you might want a website.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So like
I'm trying to help.
Yeah. No, that's all my old merch is sold out. So so like this car is more standard. You'll pretty basic. The problem with the Skyline is they have ceramic wheel turbos. Right. And if you detonate, if you have issues, the ceramic wheel explodes. Yeah. And then some people argue that doesn't hurt the engine, but the
couldn't be good.
So it's not good. People will say like, oh, the exhaust is going out, but it's like shooting a bullet at a fan. That's so cylinder 5 and 6 always get taken out when the rear turbo goes. So a $15,000 engine bay, we don't touch turbos. I highly suggest you do, but I'm not gonna like start that. Right. $15,000 just is maintenance and pretty up. Okay. Reliability and pretty up. And then I say I really heavily push, let's do at least some steel wheel turbos, which is just a rebuild. Sure.
And that's just and that's not even really for power. That's just for just reliability.
Yeah.
Right.
And but with that, with a couple supporting mods on pump gas, you can make 420 horsepower.
Okay.
It's easy.
And those are like the R34 turbos pretty much, right?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. So they're N1 turbos. Okay. So even R34 had ceramic wheel, but the N1 turbos were steel wheeled. So all the N1 is like Nissan's like race team, race program. So 32, 33, 34 all had steel wheel turbos in their N1.
I'm just looking for more GTR pictures.
Yeah, I'm really not great at Instagram.
It's all right. You got a shop full of cars.
you like that truck? The truck on the top left right now?
That's
a Colorado with a LT4.
Oh,
swap.
Fuck. That's pretty badass.
Yeah, it was pretty gnarly.
That's four-wheel drive or rear-wheel drive?
Rear wheel. It didn't get any traction. I could start a burnout. I could start a burnout in fourth.
I drove a Colorado that had a fucking 5-cylinder with the big turbo in it. It did massive burnouts.
The bottom left?
Yeah.
So that's a car, like I do these weird projects where I want to make it look stock. So remember you asked about the OEM like V-Cam? Oh. That's an RB25 Neo from a 34. Oh. That car, like look at it. You see the airbox. Yeah. You see the stock intercooler. I mean, that car made 493 wheel, 487 torque.
Oh wow!
And looks bone stock.
That's pretty cool.
Like, and that's what I like to do. I like to catch a challenge.
A TT. It's a rear wheel drive car.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
I bet that's fun.
That car walked a 458.
You probably won't. Is it like a sedan?
That's a sedan.
That's awesome.
That was a 4-door. Had GTR seats. Had like cool. A GTR front end. GTR brakes.
Are you doing any Stagias?
No, not yet, but
Stagia. Oh, here it is. Is it the silver car?
That's it. Yeah.
Oh, that was great.
So those are V-spec wheels, stock R32 wheels. It was like it was like my OEM Plus experiment.
That's a cool car. You still got that?
No,
that's pretty sick.
So there's LT4. Car.
Yeah.
That's my Supra anthracite 27,000 original mile RT.
Oh wow.
Really rare color, one of 800 worldwide.
So okay. So what are people doing? What is the key?
Oh, watch that video.
Where?
Top. It's left, but middle. Yeah, that one.
This one?
So that's the Speedo. Oh, no. I'm sorry. That's just a picture of the Speedo.
It's just a pegged-ass
topped
fucking
out.
Speedo.
5th gear.
In the sedan?
In the sedan.
So wait. So what are people doing for chassis? Is there a really good combination of...
So what we like to do, once again, car made of 30 years. Nismo has a program called the CRS, Club Racer Spec. They sell arms. All the arms are replaceable. You can't really... I mean, you could press the bushings out. It's a nightmare.
You just replace the whole arm?
We replace the whole arm. Okay. It's about $2,500 in arms.
Okay.
It makes your car brand new, and it makes it last another 30 years. I don't like all the Heim joints and all that stuff. They last 2 years. They clink and clank and do
I hate that shit. It's never fucking worth it unless you're building an actual race car.
And even then, I'd like to see most of the people listening, buying, doing whatever, use the potential difference. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like use it to the extreme.
I mean, even the fucking built by Legends car, which is $450,000, they use stock bushings, brand new.
Yeah,
but stock.
Same thing.
Yeah.
So we do some weird stuff that I've got. I'm like weird, and I like to do things OEM. Right. I want to figure out the OEM plus way. So in the back, about HICAS, the all-wheel steering. Well, I discovered. Well, everyone knows it. The S13 is a very similar car. The whole rear subframe, you could take it out of an S13, put it in a GTR. It's all the same, within reason. Very subtle differences. The rear diff cover is a 4-bolt cover to mount the rear differential instead of a big 2.
Okay.
The S14 went to a big 2. But the S13 didn't have HICAS.
So rather than lock out the HICAS, you switch the rear subframe for a HICAS-less.
Well, that's the first move. That was like the first idea. And then I was like, well, then I've changed the diff cover to an S13. It doesn't hold as much capacity. I didn't like that. And you would notice it. If you looked under there, you'd go, that's an S13 diff. So then I was like, well, an S14 uses the 2, but the S14 subframe is 20 millimeters wider. And I run 275/40s on my car, so I couldn't take another 20 mil.
Right.
So what we did was with the mount where the HICAS rack goes, we cut all the welds out. We sacrificed an S13 subframe and took the little piece off and mounted it on the 32 subframe, welded it on, and reinforced it. So if the owner of Nissan came to my shop and looked at a car we did that to, they would be confused. They wouldn't know if it was
and
an
is the point of doing that because it's stronger than just locking out the HICAS?
It's stronger, but the HICAS is a thin steering rod with a ball joint on the end.
Right.
Where the S13 arm is just dual bushing.
Oh, okay.
So the tow rod, they call it, adjust your toe, is a steering rack in the back of the car.
Yeah.
We replace it with a tow arm right off the shelf. That was the big thing. I wanted to make it off the shelf. It wasn't really off the shelf, but I want to get an off-the-shelf arm. You can service what we do afterward.
Yeah.
OEM.
Oh, that's cool.
You just have to know that that's an S13.
I was on the new Z launch last week, which I can't really talk about the car too much, but I had dinner with Tamura-san, the godfather of the GTR.
Gangster
who was
guy.
very nice guy.
Very
he was showing me pictures of a nighttime Cars and Coffee that was like very clearly a street racing.
He
meetup.
was in Midnight Club.
Yeah. No, for sure. He
Super
was
gangster.
Yeah, so he said he's showing pictures of his R32. It used to be 800 horsepower. He's dialed it back to 500 or whatever. But he said that he regularly locks and unlocks his HICAS. He said depending on what he's doing.
Well, Midnight Club with 200-mile-an-hour cars.
Yeah.
You do not want HICAS.
Yeah.
Going that fast.
Yeah. So he said for certain things, up in the mountains, he likes to have the HICAS, and then for the highway driving, he was pretty DL about fucking
highway
some of the shit. He was
breaking the law in Japan.
No, the other guys at Nissan were like fucking winking when he's telling these stories. He's like, let's do it.
They love it and hate it at the same time.
You got to have it.
Yeah,
you need to have it.
You got to have it.
You need that guy that is that, whether it's Carroll Shelby or Akio Toyota or this guy, you need that, rebel kind of guy to lean on.
There was a moment yesterday. We went to Top Rank Open House, and he showed up in a Millennium.
It looked like a shit show.
It was awesome.
It looked
cool.
like fucking crazy.
A lot of cars. He showed up in a Millennium Jade R34.
Who did?
The
Tamura-san?
Yes.
He was there?
He was there. He was at ours day when you were there.
He was?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't even fucking see the guy.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
So he was wearing a white, all white, like white pants, white T-shirt. The guy who owned the Millennium Jade 34 hopped out of the passenger seat, ran around the car, opened the door for him. You know what I mean? Like
yeah.
gangster.
Yeah,
like,
no,
dude,
that guy
gangster.
he was great.
Yeah.
He was very cool. And
Real smooth.
My review of the Z is coming out in 2 weeks. I did a Just the Noise embargo cheating video, which is great.
Wow.
You can't do drive
it's
impressions.
silent, or it's like visually just black, or
No. So the embargoes, right, are drive impression embargoes, and the reason that exists is so that there's waves on the launch, right, and so the first person to the internet wins.
Okay.
And so if I drive the car, if I drive the car on the first wave and someone else doesn't get to drive it until the third wave, just for scheduling reasons, they don't want me to put my video out before other people get to drive the car.
Because it stifles the other.
Yeah, and it's fair. I'm actually pro embargo. I don't. The audience is like, this is bullshit. I actually am pro this because there's times I've been on the fucking third wave. But
it's a YouTube thing.
It's a YouTube thing.
Imagine being a bunch of YouTubers and there was an embargo. You guys can't upload for a week until 12.
But the embargo is drive impressions. It doesn't mean all content. So I drive the car and record exhaust audio, and I don't say anything. And so you can hear the car, you can see how I did it on the racetrack, so you can see how it moves a little bit.
Are you the only guy that found this loophole? Well,
no one else has done it but me. Yeah. I certainly did it first.
That's funny.
And in a lot of times, the Just the Noise video will outperform the review.
Really?
So like with the C8 Corvette, the embargo was like 3 months out.
Oh, so people just wanted whatever content they could
Any
get.
content they could get. They wanted to hear how the dual clutch shifts. They wanted to hear, and you can gather a bunch from the video. So in my Just Noise video of the Z, I did it with the automatic, the 9-speed automatic, whereas my actual review I did with the 6-speed manual.
Okay.
So in the Just Noise video, you can hear. Does it shift fast? Does it shift slow? Does it, that you can hear that kind of stuff. If you wanted to learn about how the automatic behaves without me actually saying anything, you can actually hear it.
I used to be a big, has to be a manual guy. You know what I mean? Like, I was that guy because I'm 90s Japanese. And now I'm like, does it come in an automatic? Does it come with a dual clutch? Because that's what I want.
I mean, there's good manuals and bad manuals, and there's good dual clutches and bad bad automatics. So not every automatic is great, even if there are paddles. There's some really sluggish fucking shit ones. Yeah. But I'm not mad at cars that are automatic anymore. As long as they do what I tell them to do. If the paddles, if the fucking thing listens to me, I'm okay with it.
Well, people are like the manual Supra, and I'm like, give me the auto. That transmission, that 8-speed is awesome.
It is good. It is good. But I think the manual will be interesting.
I'm sure it's cool.
I think they'll make those 7 people happy that fucking wanted it. Yeah,
it's weird.
We got a bunch of questions from the folks in the Patreon. Of course, if you wanted to ask questions of our guests or of us, patreon.com/thesmokingtirepodcast. Gunnar Ray says, and this one's not specifically for Tommy, but any chance someone could set up an auto journalist spec race for charity? He would really like to see us race in identical cars for a good cause. I think that's a good idea, but I just don't think it's very realistic. I don't know. It would cost a lot of resources to get identical cars that somebody and someone who has identical cars would be a manufacturer, right? Here's how we could do it. If we could get the participation of a racing school.
Oh yeah.
Like Skip Barber or the Radford Racing School or one of these schools that has a fleet of identical cars.
That'd be easy then.
It would be easy until we said we want to wheel-to-wheel race these cars. It would be easier to do a time attack.
Yeah. And then you use the same car if you do a time attack.
I'm not, and for charity, it's not like the auto journalists have a lot of money. I don't know who's kicking in the money that's going to charity. It's the kind of thing that sounds great in theory, but I don't really know if it would work so well in traffic or not not traffic, practice. Okay, I'll come back to my garage bay. James Cowley, what are your favorite purple or green paint colors offered by any OEM?
So it's crazy because those are Those are my favorite weird colors. Purple and green, right? Like the midnight purple, all that stuff. Daytona Violet is one of the coolest colors ever made. It's an E36 M3 color.
Okay, let me find it.
I had a Daytona Violet F80.
Okay, let me find it.
Yeah.
BMW M3 Daytona Violet. Let's see what that looks like.
It's like it's not techno.
I
it's
know
got like
this
a
color.
Pink. It's got a pink hue instead of like a blue. So Techno Violet has a blue.
I know this color. Okay, that's a pretty good color.
Yeah.
That's a great shot of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that color.
Super cool.
That's a good color. Okay.
And then green, Millennium Jade is really good, like the 34 color.
Okay.
But Moss Silver is an S14 color.
Millennium Jade is a very nice color. That's this color.
Yeah.
It's a lighter green. I mean,
Sure.
as the word fucking jade
Yeah.
implies. Not a particularly common color.
No.
Do you know what the rarest Skyline color is? Tamura-san told us at dinner.
The rarest of all Skylines?
Yeah, all Skyline colors. Rarest GTR color.
I mean, BL0 is super rare.
What's BL0?
It's a bluish gray. It's called Lightning Yellow, super rare.
Lightning Yellow is the rarest.
Yeah.
0.4% of Skyline GTRs were painted yellow.
64 Lightning Yellow.
64 total.
Yeah.
Yeah, total builds. Very, very rare. And red was the second rarest.
Active red.
Yeah, that's
those
the
are
second
34.
rarest.
He's naming 34 because, to be fair, Lightning Yellow, there was more GTTs.
Well, that we were talking about GTRs.
Yeah.
And he said that the reason he gave that it was so rare was that people who bought GTRs didn't want to be
Flashy.
have the same color that was available on the GTTs.
Okay.
That was why. For me, as far as green, I'm a sucker for British Racing Green.
Really?
I love British Racing Green, especially when there's a nice dark tan interior to set it off, little metallic. My mother has a Jaguar F-Type that's British Racing Green over camel, and it's exceptional.
Yeah.
I love that.
Classic.
And I mean, for purple, like I had a Cassis Red 911.
sick. That color was cool.
Which is really fucking cool.
That color is super cool. You got rid of it?
I sold it, but my Porsche that's coming in is going to be frozen berry metallic, which is also kind of purple.
When
could
you
call
got
it
that, I
purple.
remember I was listening and you were like, I wasn't that into it at first. And I saw the color, I was like, that is a gangster color.
Well, yeah, and this happened. A lot of people got real mad when I said I wasn't that into it. And when I said I wasn't that into it, what I was basing that on was the for sale photos.
Oh, okay.
And the guy I bought that car from was the worst photographer ever.
I love that.
And he took pictures of the car in high noon, and it looked like shitty 80s lipstick. Like bad, really bad.
Is it like a ruby?
It's almost like a Mistachrome. It shifts.
Right.
And
It really isn't much red.
no, it's not red. It's a goldy, bronzy purple. But then I went to go pick the car up from the guy, and I got there at like sunset, 5 p.m. He pulls the car out. I go, is this the same car?
That's sick.
I didn't even, and as soon as I saw it in person, I went, I'm not painting this. This is amazing.
Right.
So anyway.
Yeah.
Ivan Capote, with almost no twisty roads here in South Florida, what cars could still be enjoyable, serve as a daily driver under $40,000 new?
Nothing. That doesn't exist. 40 grand new? A BRZ? I mean, but there's no twisty road, so.
I hate to say that 40 grand new is not so much money.
That's nothing.
I just drove the Hyundai Elantra N. That's a pretty nice car. Rides well. It's quick enough in a straight line.
I'm such a snob, I can't.
You couldn't do it?
couldn't do it.
Because of the brand?
Yeah, because of the brand. I drove one in the UK. It's called like an i30 or something.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, it's pretty good. And I was
Yeah.
like, but I can't drive
But you're not about it?
No.
I mean, under 40, I mean, I guess like a Jetta GLI
Oh.
could be. You're getting that under 40?
Because like the Golf R is
Golf
close.
R is like at 40.
It's at 40.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's fun in a straight line or anything. I think all those cars that are under 40, you want something in Florida, you want something that moves.
Yeah.
I think those roads are so boring.
Fast and not particularly, like, I wouldn't buy something, like, I'd buy like a used, like, you know, I don't know, Mercedes.
I don't know what's 40 grand.
It's a tough one. Like, the question is about a $40,000 car that is quick but does not have particularly good like handling.
Yeah, you
dynamics.
don't need to worry about handling. Because I'm thinking GT86 or whatever, but like that's so boring on those roads.
Yeah.
You want to like, no.
No, like what has good like radar crew? Like Kia Stinger. A Kia Stinger GT.
Are they quick?
Yeah. Twin turbo 6, 365 horsepower.
Under 40?
I think they start under 40, or maybe it's 41 or 42.
If he said under 50, it makes it a little easier.
I would Kia Stinger GT, long wheelbase, rear wheel drive, good steering, comfy interior, and a real hot rod of a motor. I would look at that. Aiden Squires is going to be attending the Pikes Peak Hill Climb this year for the first time. Tips for a newbie attending the event. No.
Hill climbs are miserable. I don't want to talk shit because you're trapped. If you're at the top, you're trapped. If you're at the bottom, you can't see anything. Yeah,
I'm going this year.
Not a
for
great
the first
spectator sport.
It's the 100th anniversary of Pikes Peak.
That's kind of sick.
Me and Zach are going. We are going to be recording podcasts from the side of the hill. We're going to be recording up at the top during the practices. No, we're not going to live stream it, but we can record. We're going to be also recording shows at the finish line, interviewing drivers.
That's cool.
Well, because they're sitting up there for fucking
they're
ever.
stuck too.
But do I have tips for a newbie? No, I've never gone. I'm a newbie.
Yeah.
Bring a warm coat.
Yeah.
You know, like
shit gets different.
Be prepared for changing weather conditions. Bring snacks and beverages. And comfortable seating, and I
have ADD.
Good camera. You have ADD. It wouldn't work for you.
I can't even watch like racing on TV. I'm just like, nope.
Racing on TV is tough for me. It is. I get it. Here's one for Tommy. Daniel Massey. Tommy, when are you going to put together a 90s era JDM type car show in the Connecticut or New York area?
We really want to do like an R's Day at Lime Rock and more of like a YouTuber R's Day. Like I want everyone to roll out with their cars, but I want the main focus. You can join this with me here. YouTubers build a bunch of cars for no fucking reason whatsoever.
Yeah.
Have you noticed that?
Yeah.
At the end, you built this car. Well, you built this car and you're like, what the fuck do I do with that now? You drive it and people don't watch the driving videos. Well, that's like for vloggers. That's everyone I talk to. No one watches the driving videos.
Yeah.
Everyone talks shit. I don't drive my car. I take it out. No one watched it. So I was thinking,
so interesting.
Every YouTuber has a GTR or a Skyline. All the big vloggers will do one event. We'll get like Grid Life or something.
Grid Life will work on that. Yeah.
Ship everyone's car to Lime Rock, rent it for the weekend, Saturday, Sunday, do a car show Sunday, and just like get us to go against each other, or show our car, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Get to see them all in one place. R's Day meets YouTuber has a reason to exist type situation.
That could be fun.
I think
I like that. Yeah, that would be a good time.
And then bring viewers in if it is a track day. You guys can drive with whoever. Like on the track or
that seems fun. I like that. That's a good idea. James Cowley. Other than G-Shock, who makes a great digital sports watch? I don't even. G-Shock is where it's at, bro. I'm
not a watch guy.
I don't pay attention to digital watches, but if I do, it's really only G-Shock. I'm sure there was 20 different digital brands. Apple.
They made a Nismo watch, G-Shock.
Did they?
Yeah.
I'm not surprised. That's a good collab. Jeff says, what's the best way to improve my performance driving skills? I have no track experience, but understands the basic concepts of performance driving and dynamics. Would attending a racing school like Skip Barber be worthwhile? I mean, yes, it would.
That's it.
In my opinion, the best way to improve your performance driving skills are to master weight transfer. And the best way to master weight transfer is to go to a rally school.
Yeah.
Whether it's Dirtfish, Team O'Neill, Rally Ready, there you're driving beyond the limits of grip and you're really accentuating the front, rear, left, right weight distribution of the car. And if you're not really so concerned with lap times, but you want to improve your hand-eye, your skills, and your how your body feels with the car, rally.
Just car control.
Yeah.
I think I learned most of my driving in the snow in Connecticut.
That's
it. So going into a parking lot and just like doing it.
But if you want that experience, but with professional instruction,
safely,
rally schools, and that's I can't encourage them enough. And they're also the most fun. Racing schools are great. If you want to get licensed to go racing schools are great. Or if the racing schools like the Radford School, like they train in Hellcats. Like you want to train in Hellcats, like that's fun. But sliding
I worked for Skip Barber in 2004. I was 18 years old, 17 years old, 18 years old. And like, you know, they put you in the truck with the hydraulic handbrake, a Dodge Dakota back then. You know, and you're going around the skid pad and the instructor's pulling the handbrake. Yeah. Not like you know? Yeah. And like that's car control. Yeah. That's how you learn. I mean, you don't need to be the fastest, but you could be the safest real quick.
Yeah, I mean, what the car control will get you comfortable with is now you're on a racetrack and you get oversteer you're not expecting. Right. What do you do? You know, that's
really always my question with like these 15-year-old drivers. You know, like these fast 15-year-olds. I'm like, have you gotten into some shit ever? You know, like I don't know if you've gotten into enough shit. Dude, but they're crazy. Yeah, these kids are crazy.
Yeah, that's really a great thing. Or drift school. I mean, if you happen to be out here in California, Drift 101 with Naoki at Willow Springs is the fucking shit.
There's another one at Englishtown. Chris Knapp does.
Yeah, and there's oh my God, the guy came on our podcast. I'm fucking blanking. I can't. He's a Formula Drift driver who has started a racing school.
Oh, okay. I don't know.
God damn it, my brain is fucking fried. I got these screens. James Kelly also wants to know. I bought my wife a Pao, a Nissan Pao for her birthday. He's got some questions.
Death trap.
Yeah,
absolute death trap.
I know they all are. Why a Pao over a Figaro? My wife likes boxy cars. Oh, that's the thing.
So does mine.
She likes really square cars.
Like, does she love like Defenders and stuff like that?
She likes how they look. She knows they're shit piles. She has a Delica though also, so she really likes boxy cars. She hates G-Wagons and Wranglers, hates Defenders. There's not a lot of options anymore. Yeah. She liked the Rivian. The Rivian was
Pajero Evo.
That could be one. Yeah, Pajero Evos are the jam.
That'd be cool.
But so the Figaro, she had no interest in the Figaro because that's very roundy, curvy Art Deco. The Pao is really boxy Art Deco. I will make a video with it soon, but I eventually. It's not high, and my own cars are very low on my priority list when it comes to making videos, but I will eventually. What will win more at Cars and Coffee, a Countach or a Pao? Pao.
Think so.
Paos are like the ultimate fuck up rich people shit at Cars and Coffee cars. You know who drives those in LA? Wives of very rich people.
People drive Paos.
Yeah, they do.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, people drive Paos here.
You know what? When you just said that, it made me think, like, I have an aluminum tilt trailer, and it gets more action than any of my cars. I pull into, like, a parking lot, someone's like, it's a really nice trailer. I'm like, who gives a fuck? You know, like, it's an expensive, like, it's like a $7,000 trailer, but it's like, who cares? Yeah. I get more compliments on the trailer.
Yeah. I think this is the last one. My garage bay. As car enthusiasts lean towards older cars for weekend fun, and it seems like electric cars will become the daily rides, will there be an aftermarket for adding modern safety features to classic cars? Being hit by a 6,000-pound electric car in a 90s Skyline is a losing battle.
I've never had anyone ask me about any safety. I see people rip safety stuff out all the time.
I've seen people take airbags out of their cars.
Airbags, bumper beams.
Yeah.
Door bars.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes one of the things that Motorex had to do with Skylines was add door bars into the R34s.
Most Skylines have like Series 1, 2, 3 or whatever. The Series 132 was the lightest, and it's because the Series 3 had, every time they would add more, like, it was safety, but it was also like chassis rigidity stuff. So like the 3 was the heaviest in the 32, and it had door bars and stuff the 1 and 2 didn't have.
I'm just pulling your Instagram back up because I want to make sure that people will follow you.
That's TommyFyeah.
Yeah, I've never heard of anyone requesting. I mean, I've seen people upgrade brakes, stuff like that is a safety feature, but is not, but also improves the dynamics. I've never said, how do we improve the crash worthiness of this classic car?
You know how to do that is just to pay more attention. I think that's more important than like adding safety features. Is people are just not paying attention. Yeah. Just pay attention. If you're one of those guys, I almost get merged into like daily. Yeah. And I'm like, is it me?
No.
And I just pay attention.
No, our phones and our addiction to our phones has
I stopped riding motorcycles.
Taken over our lives, you know, and whether it's people who are sitting at a green light for fucking too long because they're lost in something, or people who think that they can text and drive and really we all know they fucking can. I mean,
I'll drive down the highway and just see people like this.
Yeah.
Crazy.
And you know, the new cars have the advanced driver's aid features, but like that shit ain't gonna work. Great. You know, it's not gonna. And what's worse is you have people sort of fraudulently implying that certain cars can drive themselves. When I
heard this about you. Yeah. You're a real Elon. Like I'm not going to say hater. I don't want to say hater.
No, because hater implies that it's what my criticisms aren't valid and fucking rational. That's why I don't want to say I've got some ulterior motive. Right. I think it's very dangerous what they're doing. I think there's a lot of value.
I didn't know.
Them. Yeah.
I didn't know that they weren't like. Truthfully, I didn't know that they couldn't drive themselves.
Well, most people don't. That's why I go on these quote rants.
Yeah, I'm like I think the first thing I heard, I forget who you had a podcast with, but you were talking about it, and I was like, wait, those don't drive themselves?
No,
because like you see the guy sleeping in LA traffic, and I was like, I just always thought they drove themselves.
Well, it's what do you define as driving? You know, will it follow the car in front of it for a little while? Like, yeah, it will, but that's not what driving is. You know, that's
I thought it was straight up.
Yeah, no, it's
people sell those weights that you put on the steering wheel.
There's a lot of fucking wink ways to hack those systems. You know,
crazy.
It's very dangerous stuff, and there's a lot of reasons that these advanced driver's aid systems. The only difference between Tesla's system and what everybody else has got is the parameters.
Oh,
like Mercedes and Audi will only let you use, and GM will only let you use their systems in certain areas, interstates that are well marked, single lane, single direction travel, stuff like that. Tesla will just let you turn that shit on anywhere.
Yeah, which is weird.
Which is really
like
dangerous.
Down this road.
Yeah, which is really dangerous. It's not that they have better technology. It's not that they have better maps. It's not that they have anything that anyone else doesn't have. They just went, fuck it. Turn that shit on anywhere.
It's like adaptive cruise with lane assist.
Yeah,
that's all.
But they'll just let you use that shit anywhere. Yeah. Like, it's
I think
crazy.
like the Audi's like over 40 or over 60.
Every other manufacturer has parameters that go, okay, we've determined that the safest place to use these systems is on freeways that are clearly marked and signaled. Tesla's like, it's on you, bro. It's your insurance. Fucking let her fly. You know? Wild. Yeah, it's crazy.
It's gonna bite them in the ass if their insurance starts going up when they see people buying them, right?
Well,
Geico's like, no.
It is expensive to insure a Tesla.
Oh, it is.
It is expensive to insure a Tesla. Yeah, they're very expensive to insure. Yeah,
and they're going to be worse and worse as more people fuck.
Well, you don't. When you really have an autonomous driving system, a real system, is when the manufacturer assumes the liability.
Oh, okay.
When you're using this system, if it fucks up, Mercedes pays the fucking bill, not you.
Good luck.
The Mercedes has a new system that is not out yet, but supposedly when it comes out in the next couple of years is a level 3 system. Level 2 is what's out now. Everyone's got level 2.
Okay.
Everybody. Mercedes' level 3 system, supposedly, the only real difference between level 2 and level 3 is that Mercedes will assume the responsibility for the behavior of that system.
Wow.
Yeah. Interesting
that's like
stuff.
A real backing there.
It is. You know? It is very interesting. And from fucking, Mercedes. They don't really fuck around.
Right.
Dude, thank you so much for coming on the show.
Sure.
This was a great time. Make sure you follow TommyFyeah on the gram there. Get your hat in the ring if you want to fucking build from this dude. He seems pretty busy.
Crazy. Next time you come to Connecticut, you gotta stop.
I would like to. This summer I'm due. I haven't been in like a year. I really need to go. And you should come to the Audrain Concord in Newport this fall.
Where's that?
It's in Newport, Rhode Island.
Oh.
It's a whole week of fucking cool stuff.
I might be joining like the drivers club, so if you do come, you can come drive Lime Rock. I'll give you like one of the Japanese cars.
I have to go. I'm going to be doing the Glickenhaus cars, I think, in Monticello. Oh, you know, you've seen the SCG cars? They're fucking crazy.
Yeah, Monticello's crazy.
Monticello rules.
Yeah,
what a great place. Heaven on earth, that track. Dude, have a great trip to Vegas, and let me know how that Airbnb shit goes. And yeah, TommyFyeah and all the places, YouTube, Instagram, all those places. Sorry for our technical difficulties earlier in the show, but we seem to have gotten through it.
Worked out.
And thanks to everyone who is a patron for submitting their questions. Of course, this patreon.com/The Smoking Tire Podcast. And we're back with a crew show later this week. Hopefully, Zach will be testing negative sooner rather than later. God damn you, COVID. Damn it. He's been sitting at home for fucking a week already.
Oh, he's actually sick.
Yeah, he doesn't feel sick anymore, but he's still testing fucking positive.
I think you will for a long time.
I know. We're trying to keep it. Are
you still contagious if you test positive?
They say his father's is a really successful doctor.
Oh.
He says once you don't have a fever, once you don't have any symptoms, you're not really contagious. But like, I don't really want to fuck around with it. Let's just say I've gotten this far, dude.
You never got it.
No, never got it.
You got to experience a little vid.
I've gone so far. I don't want to ruin it now, bro.
I got it in March. I had no sense of taste smell for 3 months.
Well, I don't want that. That sucks. I like food. Yeah. All right. That's our show. We'll see you guys later. Bye.
See ya.